Excuse me, don't...
Oh, no!
It's 11:33 on a Tuesday night in Falkirk, Scotland, and a customer is attacking the manager of the local kebab shop.
Lots.
Leave him!
Can you come?
Leave him!
Yes, please. Yeah.
He calls the police.
Throw the food.
Oh,
And you're misbehaving.
But before they can arrive, she starts smashing up his counter.
What? Teri bhai.
Can you calm down?
Yeah,
All our
fuck
fridge is
yeah.
broken, so everything is broken in the
Oh,
shop.
you did!
For the physical, verbal and racial abuse, as well as causing £4,000 worth of damage to the shop, this woman was ordered to pay just £400 compensation. CCTV used to be there to get shoplifters banged to rights, but now it's picking up far more extreme incidents.
I was closing up the shop at the end of the day. I was pulling down the shutters, and the group of youths that were walking by, it just pounced on me. The next thing I knew, I had a machete in my leg.
I had my shop window smashed, I had my tyre slashed, I got attacked outside, I was threatened, got spat at quite often, treated very badly.
Around 3 million people work in retail and hot food outlets. Shoplifting might be a regular occurrence, but just under 90% of them also say they've been abused whilst on the job.
You're talking about a situation where it's in their place of work. You know, they have to come back to the place where they've been traumatised the very next day.
We know that our members have been threatened by weapons, blades, knives, machetes. The impact of retail crime can be very, very serious.
Despite many being classed as essential key workers during the last 18 months, the vulnerability of those working in retail was highlighted even more.
Through lockdown, both the industry and trade unions estimate that instances of violence and abuse doubled against shop workers.
Comes in, she noticed straight away, hey, you need your mask on. He just completely ignored her.
Unfortunately, it looks like the pandemic has made things worse. Obviously, staff have had to take things much more slowly within store, and I think this has led to a lot of frustration among some customers, and unfortunately that's translated into abuse directed at staff. And we know that face masks have encouraged a small minority of customers to believe that they are immune from both identification and prosecution.
There's something clearly going wrong in our society, in our culture, that says, you know, it's okay to have a go at someone because they're standing behind a shop counter wearing a name badge.
There are said to be two particular triggers that spark the majority of assaults on retailers. One is being caught shoplifting, and the other is having your age checked for restricted items like alcohol and tobacco. But neither of these are the fault of the person behind the till. They're just doing their job.
I was a shopkeeper before I was elected, and many people don't know that the state doesn't just ask shop workers to uphold the law, it requires them to. If a shop worker fails to ask for proof of age for an age-restricted item, they can end up with a £5,000 fine or 3 months in jail. Now, I think that if we ask people to uphold the law and require them to do that, we should give them the protection of the law.
And that's exactly what has happened here in Scotland, where a bill protecting shop workers was passed in January 2021.
For the very first time, the legislation that has been brought forward makes it an offence to assault or abuse the shop worker, and that's an absolute massive step forward for our sector.
First of all, it sends out a very clear signal that this is unacceptable behaviour and that it needs to end.
For shop owners like Mohammed, they're proud to be of service to their regular law-abiding customers.
We opened up in 1991, and I've seen all the children grow up and become parents, and some even grandparents, I think, shortly. So yeah, I've been here a wee while. It's a family-run business.
But he can now be a bit more confident that he and his staff are getting the protection from the law that they need.
Previously, when you reported a crime, the police did act, but it wasn't on top of their list. But now with this act, and obviously the publicity is getting, I think the police have prioritised it a bit more to make sure that shopkeepers get the same level of security as anybody else in any other workplace. It becomes a bit more clearer that there will be a zero tolerance level when it comes to crime.
The bill doesn't protect this woman from the effects of alcohol, but it might make her think again before behaving like this to an innocent shop worker.
Leave him! Leave him! Leave him!